Welcome back to Man Cave Movie Night, everybody. 2023 is over. 2024 is in.
Woo-woo.
We're so excited.
Celebration
I'm also
time,
so
come
excited to
on.
be back. I missed last week, and I've been getting so many texts from so many people about how bad last week's episode was. So
Interesting.
I'm back
I've
to
been-
take the reins.
I've been receiving texts of the opposite nature.
Interesting.
Yeah.
From who?
Kel.
Okay. All right. Fine. Great.
McClunky texted me. He said he didn't like it as much, or he did like it more.
Good. McClunky said that.
Yeah, I also
Michael
texted
Hayes.
Lucas and said I liked it more.
Yeah, with McClunky
Hey,
and Jared.
that was actually really fun. Should we
That
just
was-
keep doing it that way?
First time I've had fun with this in a long time.
Well,
This
hey,
is our Zelda episode.
I think that if we don't remember our mistakes, then we can't improve. If we don't
Totally
remember
agree.
the past, we can't forge the future.
I know
false.
exactly where
So-
you're going with this.
Where I'm going is we are going to do a 2023/2024 quiz. I'm going to ask you about important things that happened or non-important things. I'll tell you what I'm reading off of. 35 plus 2023 pop culture trivia questions from crowdparty.app is what we're looking at.
I love that.
However, I'm also going to pepper in some pop culture questions about things that have not happened yet to see if you're tuned into your pop culture compass well enough to know what is going to happen before it happens. So, let's get going.
Let's
I think
get
we're
into
just
it.
going to do first person to answer
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
vibes instead of taking turns because some of these questions are really easy and some of them are really hard. And I haven't looked at these beforehand, so I'm just going to randomly scroll and start reading one. And if it's way too hard, I apologize.
We'll get through it.
First up, according to Spotify, which was the most globally streamed song of 2023?
Ooh, song.
Song. Okay.
Blank space.
Can we work together?
Yeah, that's
Actually-
fine.
Oh yeah, sure.
So
You
I'm
can-
thinking it
you
has to
can
be a
ban.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is number one.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Or it could be like The Weeknd. Because The
A
Weeknd
weekend again.
always,
That'd be crazy.
he like is always at the top.
Do you have a particular
But what-
song that was popular this year?
Not that I know of. But he just released one and he broke his record for monthly monthly listeners on
Drake
Spotify.
also just broke some records. I don't know. It's got to
So
be The
it's-
Weeknd,
let's-
Drake,
let's
or
go
Taylor
with
Swift.
Taylor Swift because we know more music
Yeah.
by her maybe.
But what's
what?
what's a song from 1989? Well, there wasn't enough time
Why 1989?
because she just released her version at the end of the
Oh,
year,
her
and that was like
version.
the.
I see.
But she released a few of her version. Honestly, the only
maybe-
Taylor Swift song I know the name of is Blank Space. Off the top
well,
of
there's
my
also maybe Cruel Summer. That one's been big this year.
head. Sure. Let's say Cruel Summer.
Okay,
Cruel Summer.
You're
Cruel Summer,
incorrect.
Taylor Swift.
Oh,
No.
The answer is not something you were even kind of near. It's Flowers by Miley Cyrus.
what the
Oh,
heck? Really?
I can buy
According to
myself
Spotify.
a new
yeah.
question.
Now we're going to do a 2024 question.
Okay.
In April of 2024,
oh no.
what did the blue goo mean and who created it?
Let me try and use my foresight here because I feel like I had a dream about the blue goo, and now
Yeah.
that it's now that I'm getting context to it, I think I can begin to formulate the rest of the surroundings. I think the blue goo was created by what's
You want
his
me to jump
name?
in here, or-
Yeah. I see him so clearly. I just can't recall his name. I've never seen him before,
Oh yeah.
but I know his face so well, and it's just burned into my head.
I think the blue goo is the runoff from a failed flavor of Dwayne Johnson's Zoa
Oh,
energy drink.
no.
There was just there was a lot that they made, and the batch was I don't want to say tainted, but it was given new life.
It
Actually
alive.
came alive, and so they tried to dispose of it, but it just created this blue goo. And hashtag blue goo. Hashtag
blue
Gulf
goo.
of Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the person responsible for it was Tage Flint.
Okay.
so.
Very impressive work, you guys. The blue Zoa actually, or the blue goo,
Yeah.
is not technically. It's a common misunderstanding. Not technically runoff from the Zoa itself. It is just excretion from the machines that forged the Zoa. So it's kind of
machine
not
waste.
as
It's
it's
machine,
machine
yeah.
waste, exactly. However, Tage Flint is the operator of the machine that creates the blue goo. I would have also accepted Dwayne Johnson for being the mastermind behind
I see,
Zoa.
nice.
Very,
Either one.
very impressive.
If you're the
work.
face of the company, you've got to take responsibility.
You've got to
for
take
the company.
responsibility.
Even though Tage
Um,
Flint was operating it, who is my uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle T.
Next
Uncle
up,
T.
another 2023 question.
Okay, all right, we're back.
What was
Yeah,
the
we're into
most what was the most Google searched game in 2023?
Probably,
Baldur's
yeah.
Gate,
Baldur's
right?
Gate is my immediate thought. So
Same.
that's our answer. That's our answer.
Incorrect. The answer was Hogwarts
I was
Legacy.
gonna say. I was thinking Hogwarts
What?
Legacy was the best selling. I should have.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess
Pretty-
that's true.
Because it was on the most
Pretty
platforms.
impressive.
Yeah. You can't really just go out and buy Baldur's Gate, at least.
Another
For most of the year.
2023 question. Both of you name me a different person, celebrity,
Name a
that
woman.
died in 2023.
Ray Stevenson.
Okay.
What's dead is gone. You know, who's dead is gone.
Yeah, we need to
What's
move on.
dead is
Let's
gone,
not-
that's
let's
true.
not
Think
dwell
of
on
a
the past.
dead person now?
But if we don't remember the people that died in 2023, we
That's
can't
true.
prevent
That's the whole point of
deaths
this.
of 2024.
Exactly. Well, Shaq
Shaq
Can I say...
is going to die in
is
2024.
proposed to die in 2024, unfortunately.
The acting career of the dude who plays Kang. What's his name? Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors' acting career. Very good.
That is very-
yeah, you're both correct. I also
I can't think of any real person.
yeah, I also would have accepted. Let's see, who would I have accepted? Matthew Perry.
Oh, yeah.
I would have accepted Queen Elizabeth.
She died this year.
Was that
pretty
this year?
sure.
2023? I thought that was last year.
Maybe it was. Who knows?
Well, last year, as in last year.
2022.
Well, I've got a question for you to follow it up.
Yeah, but
Another
let's go.
2023
Let's see.
question.
Who's going to?
In which month was the coronation of King Charles III scheduled?
Scheduled?
It was...
probably-
no, this was in June. No, May.
I was gonna say May. Just
It's... I'm certain it
is
was May
correct.
because
May, okay.
my trip was supposed to be in May
Very
to go
good.
to England, but they postponed the trip because all the costs for hotels and stuff were going to be through the roof. A lot of
Oh.
museums were going to be closed,
That's very fair.
and so
Yeah,
I wish it was in May
yeah, true.
instead of June. But
That's
new-
life.
New
life?
2024 question. From its initial outbreak, how long did the blue goo take to take over the majority of major U.S. cities? So over 50%.
yeah, that would have been like 8 or 9 hours,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say it was pretty quick.
It was
Like it was pretty
rapid.
jarringly, like unbelievably quick.
Yes, the
Yeah.
answer was 6.5 hours.
6.5.
A little bit
faster
over
than
time, but
I
that
thought.
was still
It
pretty
was
good.
fast. Well, they found the sewer system. They found the Jordan Peele Us type tunnel system, and it made it really easy for
And
them.
Us
to
is a
access
documentary,
things.
so that makes sense.
Us is a documentary.
Hmm.
Yeah, about what preceded the blue goo.
Mm-hmm.
I guess let's do another fun one, another 2023 one. Oh yeesh! I'm only seeing stuff that I know none of us are gonna know.
Hey, we know,
we know
we know
it,
way
we know.
more than you think.
Yeah, we know exactly.
I guess that is true. Which musical artist starred in an HBO show in 2023?
Oh, easy. Weekend.
Very good.
He was in
Who- what-
Very, very
what-
good.
man, what was it called?
That
Something.
horrendous,
The Idol. Was it
horrific-
just The Idol?
I think it was called The Idol, yeah.
Apparently, it's the worst reviewed HBO show ever.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
From the
Hey,
creator of
screenshots I've seen.
Euphoria comes the worst show ever.
Well, to be fair, he just broke his own record on Spotify. For
Oh
most
yeah,
streams.
he is not wanting
Listeners per
for
month,
fame
so.
or money, but he just wants
It's
to be an
fine.
actor now. So,
Yeah.
like Dua Lipa.
yep.
In
exactly.
2023, what color were the viral big boots?
Red,
Red. That's right?
red.
Red. Yeah, there were
yeah.
the pictures of Giancarlo
That was
Esposito
Giancarlo.
wearing them,
Yeah, that was so
Yeah.
fun.
just psychotic.
Dude, those are sick.
Kid
Yeah,
named
I love
Finger.
those.
If anyone
so
can
much.
pull it off, it's him.
And which celebrity dressed up as Voldemort for Halloween?
Ooh,
Heidi Klum, maybe.
that's a good guess.
She always
Yes,
goes all
actually.
out.
Maybe Dua Lipa. Actually,
You're all just so off. It was Zayn Malik.
Oh, Zayn
from One
Malik
Direction.
Apparently.
from 1D.
And just following that up,
He died.
on Halloween, on Halloween 2024, what had the blue goo stated to the surviving members of humanity was their ultimatum?
Their ultimatum.
Yeah.
The Goos or the Peoples?
The goo was presenting the survivors
ultimatum.
with an ultimatum by Halloween 2024. What was the ultimatum?
I see.
That's a great question. I think it was something along the lines of make make Dwayne Johnson the president of the United States of America, or suffer the wrath of Goo.
Right. And the thing is, to back that up, just to kind of clarify, give some context, the surviving members of society, the resistance, were fighting
Yeah.
against it not because they don't want Dwayne Johnson to be in control, but
No.
Dwayne Johnson was obviously a gooified version of himself. His eyes
Yeah.
had changed color. His flesh was like starting
He's
to
10 feet
melt.
tall.
Yeah.
He's 10 feet tall.
And
Yeah.
and
He's 10 feet
if
tall
they
and full of goo.
full of goo, and if they did not, follow through with the goo's ultimatum, then they would kill everyone over the age of 50 and under the age of 20 in the entire
Very
world.
good. Very good. You got the ages right and everything. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Which
I
was
think-
it was it
I can
wasn't
see
that
it so clearly in my brain.
yeah, and the threat wasn't taken too seriously because they thought, well, most of those people are dead already anyway.
Yeah,
Only the
because
people
you've already
surviving
killed
in their
them.
prime. Yeah. So anyway, very good job, you guys. I think by knowing all of that, what happened in 2023, we can prevent the mistakes of 2024 and keep it on the sacred timeline and make sure that what needs to happen will happen.
Hooray!
So thank you guys so much, and let's
Yay.
get into the episode.
America the beautiful,
Making
and
up some
Zoa in the sky.
Welcome back to another episode of Man Cave Movie Night, everybody. My name is Niall.
I'm Jared.
Lucas.
Lucas was in the middle of a drink when it was his time to talk, so
A sip.
a sip, if you will.
He's chowing.
So
munching.
we're talking today about 2024. We're talking about what we see coming. We're going to make some guesses. We're going to make some predictions. All of our predictions will be right. If you go back and listen to our 2023 predictions, you can tell all of our predictions are right. That's
Yes.
kind of a trademark of this
That was
podcast.
100% of the
that was the
time,
trend.
we're right. 100% of the time.
Yeah. So I guess this is going to be tough because we have to only guess things that happen between now and the end of March before the blue goo shows up.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately.
we
It'll
don't
be a
have a
quick year.
huge
But at
window.
least it's the end of March. Thankfully, it's the end of March, and not the
Right.
And
beginning.
at least
Exactly.
there's no writer strike this year.
Yeah.
I would take Blue Goo over the strike any day.
Yeah, that's
Well,
so fair.
to be clear, we liked the strike and the results of it. We just don't like what it did to 2024 because our
Destroyed.
I'm pro
preparation. Yeah, I'm pro Iger. I back the Iger.
Let's go, Bob Chapek.
This is going to be a little interesting of an episode because all of us in what we've discussed so far, predicting 2024 in terms of pop culture and movies and TV is a little tricky because there's not a lot.
No, there is
the writer's
not.
strike and the actor's strike made it so that 2024 is going to be a little bit thin, which I know a lot of people talked about that during the writer's strike, and now that it's ended, I think a lot of the common folk, all of you plebeians that don't know much about how the industry works, I think a lot of people kind of were like, okay, it's done, back to normal.
Back to normal
And it's
immediately.
like, it kind of is that way, and they had enough to make it almost feel like back to normal immediately because they had a lot of stuff in the barrel. But 2024 is when all of the stuff that they were working on during those, or that they would have been working on during those strikes, would be coming out. So,
So now it's going to
if
be
you're-
filmed all year.
yeah, if you get into 2024 and you're kind of like, why is there nothing in theaters, or why does this year kind of suck for movies? That's why. Your actions have consequences.
Why are there 3 Sony villain movies coming out this year?
Dude, absolutely unhinged. Sony is putting out more Marvel movies than Marvel this year,
I know.
which is just crazy, especially given the fact that Marvel basically makes a movie a week at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty weird year we're going to have. How are you guys feeling about 2024? Either in the terms of movies or just in general?
Go, Jared. You speak.
Yeah, I feel honestly pretty good about it. Now, I know we're going to be lacking on content, but also we've had way too much content, I think,
Yes.
over the last, 3 years. And so, hey, there's so much I haven't watched, or so much I need to get caught up on anyway. We're still going to get some gems of movies. We always do. We're going to get a bunch of stinkers. We always do. And, I'm happy to take off the shackles of Marvel for a second, and I'm not, forced to watch all this content. And I can go and watch, Succession. I can go get caught up on stuff that I haven't seen.
That you actually think will be good.
I am certain will be good because I've had so many recommendations for it, And so this is a breather year. This is our gap year.
Yeah.
And then we're back in the, in the trenches with them come 2025. But also, there are a lot of things that are set up to be coming out this year. After digging into it and looking at, in preparation for this episode, there's actually way more than I thought there was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be a mixed bag like it is, but I think it'll be a less full bag, and I'm way for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got The Beekeeper coming out soon. Everyone cannot
Dude,
stop
I
talking about
cannot
The Beekeeper.
Wait for
Bro.
the Beekeeper.
We're going to start the year off with a
Dude,
big
I remember when they
heater.
announced the Beekeeper.
Yeah.
And I was like,
2021.
how am I going to wait that long?
3 whole years. But luckily,
Did they really
it's finally-
announce it in 21?
No. I never
So I was
heard
like,
of it until I saw
I'm
the
pretty sure
trailer.
they announced it a week ago, and it came out this week.
They announced it after they put posters up in movie theaters for it.
Yeah,
It's like, what's the Beekeeper?
Oh, they're like, oh crap, we need a trailer.
But I totally agree. This will be a great year to catch up on stuff. And for that, I am genuinely looking forward to it. However, there are some things that are coming out this year that I have been looking forward to for a very long time that are finally just happening to come out this year, even though it's an otherwise pretty sparse year. The fact that we have at least a few of those things coming will be awesome. However, a couple of those don't come out until December, so it's basically 2025 by that point. However, I'm still looking forward to them, and we'll talk about them.
We will.
Yep.
So Do we want to make our excited list?
Predicty
Well,
dicky?
we can
Oh,
make
yeah.
our
Excited.
list, or we could do some our predictions first. Do my question.
Yeah, let's do
do a little
the
good and bad,
predictions
and then we'll compile our list
Yeah.
towards the end.
that sounds
Love
good.
it. Predicty dicky.
Yeah, we'll go into my question. Guys, what's a prediction you have for 2024, positive and negative, about movies or TV shows? What's something you think is going to be shockingly good? Well, it actually doesn't have to be shocking, right?
Just like,
we
yeah.
did last year. You can say this thing we think is going to be good is going to be good. That's a prediction. This thing
Yep.
we think is going to be bad is going to be bad. That's all, you know. But if you got a
Okay.
little spicy hot takes, we'll take it here, and they're guaranteed to be correct.
Yes.
Guaranteed to be
Based
correct.
on last year
Correct.
especially.
I have answers. I don't think either of them are hot takes. One of them is... They're both bold, is what I'll say. But I don't know if they're necessarily hot. My hot take, or my pick, my choice... Crap! Oh, this
Speak
episode
and
sucks!
take two.
Speak
and
normal.
go.
Speak
This
like a
episode
normal.
sucks. It's my fault. I think that Dune is going to pull... Dune Part 2 is going to pull Return of the King, and I think it's going to win Best Picture for both of the Dune movies. You know?
Right.
what
But
do you
that's what I think is going to happen.
Well, like Fellowship and Two Towers didn't win Best Picture.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
when
yeah,
Return of the King came around, it won
Came in
all
at
of the
one.
awards.
It won.
Every
It
single
won, and it won for the other ones. Too,
I see, I
You
see,
know,
I see.
like that's kind of the feeling that it had. So I think Dune Part 2 is going to do that. I also think, now here's my negative one. I
Okay.
think that by the end of the year, there will be some sort of announcement from Sony that they are ending their villains. They're ending their universe, and they're just gonna. I think it maybe will come through with like a. We're merging with Marvel Studios and putting them into it, which would be a nightmare. Or hopefully we're canceling and we're just going to be done with it and Marvel's going to do its thing. But there's already rumors that they're trying to put Tom Hardy's Venom into the next Spider-Man
Oh,
movie.
duh. Can you imagine if they merge and the beginning of the next Spider-Man movie is just all of the Sony villains like chained to a wall, and then the Punisher just walking up and just shooting them all, and then the Punisher's just
so
not
good.
in the rest of the movie.
Not
and
in
they
the
don't
rest of it.
reference that scene, and that's
Yeah.
the movie
would
just
be
continues from there.
amazing.
They just had to literally kill all those characters and then just move on immediately.
But
thanks for
I
merging.
do think that the Sony Marvel verse, Marvel Sony verse, is going to get kind of Warner Brother Dark Universe a little bit, where it's like they're going to put some movies out, they're going to realize that it's not working and that people don't like it, and they're just going to kind of say, we're not doing it anymore, and then just kind of cut it off there. Because there's no way that Craven does well. There is less than 0% chance that Madam Web does well. And then Venom 3 will probably do okay because somehow there are enough absolute idiots in this society to keep giving the Venom movies money.
Yes.
So
yeah, exactly.
that's what I think is going to happen. I think Sony is going to lose so much money on 2 of those 3 movies that they're just going to realize it's not economically viable.
Fair
I
enough.
totally agree with both of those. Those were both my predictions. So I have new predictions that I've come up with.
Oh,
But-
wow. I got both of them?
You got both of them. Yep. So, mine was that
great.
Madam Web is going to flop so bad. Madam Web and Craven are going to flop so bad that they just cancel the Sonyverse. But I'm going to be a little bit more specific with mine. I think Madam Web.
I was specific enough.
Well, I know. I'm just saying with Madam Web.
I know, I just
in
thought that
particular,
it would be
which
funny
by
to
the
make that
time
seem
we
like it
listen
was-
back to this episode in anticipation of our 2025 episode, Madam Web will have completely been forgotten because it comes out in February, which is when all the worst movies come out, and it will be
Yeah.
10 months from then, and it'll just be like, oh yeah, I forgot how terrible and awful.
Wait,
that
Madam
was
Web comes out in February?
on Valentine's Day.
It's almost out?
It's almost out.
Jeez.
It will make
It's in a
the
month.
small, like, it will make less money than any superhero movie in recent memory. Like, it will make, I'm gonna say it will make less than $100 million domestically.
You don't think Sydney Sweeney's gonna pull
No.
just a little bit better?
People don't know she's in it.
Not with the costuming that they gave her in the trailer.
Yeah. Oh. Everyone's costume looks wretched. Everything about it. Like, who is that for? What audience are they marketing to? It's not Marvel fans, because it's not, like, explicitly a Marvel movie. It's
Well,
not really
none
like,
of the Sony movies have been marketed towards Marvel fans.
Yeah.
Because if you're a Marvel fan, there's no way you liked the Venom movies.
No. So that's going to be my first prediction in terms of negative prediction. My other prediction is also going to be Marvel related. This is partly prediction, partly hope. Well, I'll just say it. I hope Deadpool 3 is extremely successful. If
Yeah.
it is what they're promising it to be. If it is actually
Yeah.
like a huge X-Men movie and Deadpool is not quite as big of a part of it, even if he's the main character, whatever. But it's like more X-Men than Deadpool, and it's super successful, and it's enough to get X-Men into the MCU, then I will be extremely enthused, because that is what I'm predicting it will be. That is my prediction and my hope and my prayer. So
I hope they put
that is what
the
happens.
Marvel's chick in it.
I was going to say, I hope that Monica Rambeau is one of the main
That's it,
characters.
that's
No,
it.
there's no shot. I mean, there's
She's
no way
like,
they were
"Hi, Mr.
collaborating.
Deadpool. This is my movie now."
Oh, there's no way. Just the fact that it's a Deadpool and Wolverine movie has me so excited. So
Yeah. It's going to
my prediction is that it will be financially successful, and it will hopefully get Marvel out of their drought, because it's their only movie coming out this year, and
Yeah.
hopefully the fact that they're taking so much time for those other movies coming out later will mean they care more about creating a quality production.
Well,
Yeah.
and Deadpool has a pretty good history. Like, the first Deadpool movie kind of showed studios that you can have an R-rated blockbuster.
Yeah.
Like, it made
totally.
so much more money than any R-rated movie has any right to make, other than Passion of the Christ.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know? And so this Passion of the Christ, which at the time of release especially had kind of just universal appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Deadpool 2 did, I think, even better than
It
the
did
first.
almost
Maybe it
as
didn't,
well.
but
It
almost
did
as well.
super well. And
Which
then
is crazy,
Joker
because the second one
2019.
is so much better than the first one. But
Yeah.
that's my hot take of the episode.
No, I totally agree.
But yeah, I just think that Deadpool already has such a precedent for making money.
Mm-hmm.
And also it has on its side the fact that it's Marvel Studios, but like not
not
really.
really,
Like
yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
feel the same. And so I think a lot of people that have the Marvel fatigue are still going to be amped about Deadpool just because, it's this
It's
its
character
own thing.
we love. So
It's
yeah.
again a step in the right direction for me with Marvel, which is stop over universeizing everything. Just kind of let things be where they're at, you know. And so if Deadpool can come in and just have this crazy story, but that doesn't really have like a huge
Like, yeah.
I
just
just
kinda
want it
fun.
to
Well, we'll
be.
see. It's a big old multiverse.
It's a
thing, right?
multiverse.
It is a
thing
big old
probably,
multiverse
but-
thing, but it's like with old characters that have moved
Yeah.
on. Like the actors are like, I'm not trying to go black and play Toad or Storm or whatever. It's like, so if they show up
Bring
and die,
Toad
it's
back.
just kind of like,
Justice for Toad.
yeah, yeah, it's kind of like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. So
Yeah, sure. Well, good. Those are good predictions. I'm hopefully optimistic.
Yeah.
For Deadpool 3.
me too.
I'm a little nervy about it.
I am
but
too,
We'll see.
but I want it.
But my two real predictions. I'm gonna start negative, and this is gonna be a little bit of a hot take. But I think the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series is gonna not be worth anyone's time.
Yeah, that is a totally.
It's
fair
gonna be
prediction.
like this. The Percy Jackson show that started the first episodes. It's been people have been liking it a lot.
Sure.
It's just not that interesting. It's pretty slow paced. As a fan of the book, I'm like, it's cool to see a more accurate telling and
Totally.
some of the imagery and stuff. I'm like, oh, sick. But I don't care to watch the rest of it, even though I was a big Percy Jackson fan.
Yeah.
I
I haven't
think
watched
same
any
with
of it, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to all come out.
That's
I think
me
it'll
too,
be an
yeah.
easier thing
Fair.
to just slam.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys watch it and you're like, oh, it's well, maybe not, because you guys all always say stuff is really good, and I say I'm still not going to watch it. But maybe if you guys are like, it truly is so good, it's so worth it, then maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah.
my guess is this Avatar show is just going to be a Lion King-esque retelling of the story, basically shot for shot, just with live actors, and that's not that appealing
No,
to me.
not at all.
I love animation so much because you can do cool things and it looks cool because you just draw what you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just put it on. And so I think they're just going to try to recapture this thing that everyone loves, and it's not going to be good.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be worth your time, even if it's hopefully
Yeah.
good.
I want to interject something real quick.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what happens because they have Danny Putty cast
Yeah.
as the engineer.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he was
A character who does not show up for a long time in the animated
Yeah.
series. So when I saw that did give me a flicker of hope of like, maybe they're kind of messing around with this a little bit and making
Yeah.
it their own thing. I don't know if that's necessarily even a good thing, though. That's my
Yeah.
problem. Is
Well,
that like
I
shot
think-
for shot is lame, but also messing with the story is also lame. So
Yeah.
it's
True.
like,
So it's
that's
like
kinda
maybe you
how I
shouldn't
felt
be
with-
adapting this thing that people
Yeah.
love. Just let it be.
Sure.
totally.
That's how I feel a little bit about the Scott Pilgrim, you know,
Anime.
anime. What's it called? Ralph
Takes off.
Breaks the Internet.
Blast off.
Yeah.
Take off.
Takes
Take off.
off,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shut up. Crap. This episode sucks.
There's like the first episode. It felt like a lot of retelling, rehashing, less kind of. There's less energy to it. I think partly
Yeah.
because of, you know,
They're not voice actors.
Yeah, exactly. And then the rest, it kind of took a detour, and I was like, I mean, it's fun. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Yeah.
You know.
From what I've seen so
2
far of
inches
that,
in it.
I've really liked it. Actually,
I haven't
I was
finished it. I've
surprised.
only watched 2 episodes, but
Yeah, I watched it all basically in one sitting with my little brother, and like it was fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I
don't think it's-
I only knew the spoiler from the end of the first episode, and I was like so apprehensive to start it. But once we kind of watched the first few, I was like, you know, this is actually really original, and I like it a lot more than I was
Yeah.
anticipating. I haven't finished it yet, but you know, definitely
Yeah,
better
I-
than just the 1-to-1 adaptation.
Right. I mean, this is all to say the source material is going to be like 5-star material for me. And then all these kind of re-adaptations or remakes and stuff
Yeah.
have just been like 3 stars.
Yeah.
And so that's my negative prediction. But my positive prediction, and I'm saying this purely just out of hope, but Paddington in Peru is going to be a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's going to be
It better.
better than the second one. It's just going to be perfect.
Nice.
And that's so much to ask.
It is a
Because
lot
the
to
first
ask.
one's perfect, the second one's perfect. I really just need this third one to be perfect.
Yep.
And it will be.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
It's in Peru, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Peru!
It's gonna be at Machu Picchu probably, and
Yeah.
other things that are in Peru.
Yeah.
like
Paddington.
curb stomps.
Like, yeah, true. Yeah.
and wild dogs.
Wild dogs. That's
Frick.
how the movie starts.
Yeah,
Paddington is
any
just
of
being
you, any of
chased
you
by
listeners,
wild
if
dogs.
you want to hear my Peruvian curb stomp story, you know, give me.
He's
a
about
call.
to tell it right
He's
now.
about to tell it.
I watched a guy get curb stomped. If you want more information, give me a
Google.
call.
Google
Yeah.
Peruvian curb stomp.
Anyway, so those are my predictions. But I think we all have some good predictions.
Yeah.
Big good predictions.
Yeah.
I like them.
One of my predictions last year was just that the M. Night Shyamalan movie would be good, and it was. I liked it. But I realized that was kind of a lame prediction because everyone immediately forgot about that movie. That was one of those February movies that was just like, all right,
It was,
on with
it was
it.
fine.
Yeah. No, I liked it.
Yeah, it's
It
fine.
was certainly not terrible like some of his other stuff that I've seen. So it
Right.
it was nice to have that.
Wait, what would be terrible?
The Avatar
Out of his-
live action actually is terrible. That one is
We must have watched a different movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like that adaptation. That's the one I was talking about. Like,
yeah,
why
it's
are
a
they
one to one.
recreating
Why are they
that?
I
just
see.
making the movie again?
Yeah, that
They're like,
one
we need
they should have.
episodes for this.
It was such an
2-hour
original movie.
epic.
I can't believe that he came up with all of that stuff.
Yeah, isn't that so
himself.
cool? That
Now they're
that
just
is
trying
a
to
that
drag
is
it out
something
and
that
turn it into a TV show. It's going to mess with the pacing.
yeah. That is something that Netflix has been doing a lot is re-adapting things that have already been adapted, either into pretty much always into live action. But
Yeah.
it's like, even Scott Pilgrim was an adaptation of the graphic novel and then
Yep.
a movie and then an anime. And, we have Avatar, which was a show and then a movie and now a show, but in live action. And pretty much all of their anime live action technically are manga, then anime, then live action. Like Netflix is just so desperate to recreate other people's IP. And from what I've heard, I don't think that I've watched any of their anime adaptations because apparently they're all bad and they're all canceled immediately. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I would not be
apparently
surprised if
everybody
Avatar's
loves
no
One
different.
Piece.
yeah, apparently, that's the one though. They've made
Dude, it was so
so
bad.
many.
Really?
I watched the first episode, and it is so bad.
Yikes! Yeah, One Piece fans are all over it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
One
will-
Piece fans are a different
They are.
breed
They are.
already.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I will never watch
Um,
that. I can confidently say I will never watch that.
Yeah, I have
One
no
Piece, or
reason to.
well, yeah, I guess either.
Both.
Well, normal One Piece, I just don't want to watch something that's like 1,800 episodes and still coming out.
Yeah,
And then
no.
the live action, I don't want to watch because I have no connection to the animated.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Well, cool.
Cool.
What's next?
I like these
Niall
predictions.
question?
Niall question.
Niall
Do
question.
I have
Well,
a
we can do create our watch list for 2024. Top 5
like
most
it.
anticipated each. Create a list of 15 movies. We go around in a circle, unless we can't come up with 5, in which case we'll just do 10.
I've got plenty.
Okay, cool. I'll just start. Take the lowest hanging fruit. Obviously, Dune 2. This was top of our list last year. Hopefully, we
It's
don't.
top of our list this
Hopefully,
year.
it's not going to be top of our list again next year, because that would suck. But it seems incredibly likely that in about a month and a half, this movie will be out in theaters, and we will be enjoying it and watching it, and it will be awesome. So, repeat from last year, but we got confidence that it won't be a repeat again next year, except that there will still be buzz about it because Oscars possibly in January they'll be announcing. So,
Heyo.
Love it.
yep, that's top of the list. That's first pick. Niall or Jared?
First round draft pick.
First round
I
draft
can
pick.
go next.
Yeah, you go.
And
next.
I'll just say what I've already talked about. Paddington and Peru.
Nice. There you go.
That's truly, my top 3 movies of this next year.
Yeah. Great.
I'm excited.
Frick.
Niall didn't prep
The
for
one
this
that I
episode.
was gonna dude, I didn't even know we were recording.
What's a podcast?
No. Okay, so we're predicting good movies.
Well, just
Yeah, we're making our
watch list. Our most
watch list.
anticipated.
I'm
These are our
sorry, I
most
saw
anticipated.
something and I was
You know
like,
the movies
I
you
could
put on it
work
last
that
year?
in, but
Fast X and Transformers.
yeah, and both of them,
And-
other than the last 10 seconds of Transformers, awesome.
Yeah, Fast X was perfect.
Yeah, and Fast X was perfect. Honestly, I'll stand by Fast X to the day I die.
I'm putting Kung Fu Panda 4 on there.
Interesting.
Ooh.
I think that it is going to be a solid conclusion. I don't think that the Kung Fu Panda movies have missed. The
Yeah,
first
that's-
one's great. Second one is also great. Third one is also great. Less great than the first two a little bit, but still awesome.
Yeah.
I think that 4 is set up, and it's continuing this weird trend recently of if you're making an animated movie, Aquafina has to be part of
Yep.
the cast.
Well, here's the fun fact about Kung Fu Panda 4. It's the start of a new trilogy.
No, it's not.
It is. But guess
Really?
what? Kung Fu Panda is only going to be a minor character in the other 2. So get ready for the Aquafina
Aquafina's character
trilogy.
gonna be- Is it really?
It really is.
Dude,
Well,
no.
this just feels like Cars 4. You
Cars
know,
3.
where... No. Well, is there a 4?
Toy
it
Story
just like-
4? There's only 3.
Cars 3.
Cars.
Yeah,
Oh, then
that's
Cars
where
3.
He's
For some
training
reason, I
the
thought it was... there's
protege.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's kind of the end of his story, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that is a great way to end like a series for a character.
Mm-hmm.
However, don't then go and make 2 more movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the new character because, yeah, the Cars ended great. Yeah, I like Cars 3 more than a lot of people.
Yep.
But Kung Fu Panda 4 is about Po training the new Panda Warrior or whatever Dragon Warrior, who is Aquafina, who will take the mantle and lead the next 2
Happy for that.
movies. So it will be called Kung Fu
Well-
Panda Aquafina 5.
I love it.
Kung Fu Panda Aquafina 5.
Well, so we've got
So we've got 3 heaters.
round one done.
Yep, round 1
Okay.
done. My next one is one that I know neither of you will say, and that is
Mm-hmm.
Nosferatu. That is Robert
Oh,
Eggers'
that
new
movie's
movie.
Eggers.
Sick.
Unfortunately, it does not come out till Christmas Day, so we have to wait basically an entire year for it. However,
What a weird time to release that.
incredibly weird time. I almost think that it will get moved up, like to maybe November or October if it's ready. But he has said, I want to make a genuinely scary gothic horror movie because we really have not ever gotten that. And so this is just balls to the wall, terrifying, crazy Nosferatu vampire
Rippers.
movie. And I'm just like so excited. I am so into that because I love all 3 of his other movies, but none of them are really like they're horror, the technically horror genre. I mean, Northman isn't, but the first 2 is like, yeah, definitely horror movie, but it's not really like, oh, this is going to get under your skin and make you just feel agony for 2 hours. The Witch more so than the other 2, but I love all 3 of his movies. And so Nosferatu just being fully terrifying is just so exciting to me, especially with the cast, like Willem Dafoe in it and Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu is just going to be, I can't wait to see it. That is very high on my list for this year.
That's good. Great pick. I'm gonna take the new Mad Max movie.
Nice.
Furiosa.
Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Furiosa.
Yeah, we haven't had a Mad Max in a bit, and Fury Road was just so sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping for that same caliber of movie.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
We'll see. You know, I'm gonna stay away from trailers and stuff, and we'll just go in and hope for the best.
Yep.
Yeah, that is very good pick. Okay, frick. I'm torn
Between
And
Madam
so-
Web and Venom 3.
between Madam Web and Venom 3, exactly. There's some that I kind of just want to take the long odds on. There's some that I want to say is a meme. But then there are ones that I genuinely think are just going to be really good. Okay, you know
Yeah,
what?
4 more
I'm
picks, so.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a freaking nightmare. Maybe that means that it just doesn't matter. I can just say what
Yeah,
I
exactly.
that's kinda
That's
what
exactly
I'm
what it
going
means.
for.
I think that, you know what? I'm going to throw it in there. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
I
that'll
think
be
that
fun.
movie is going to be freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to watch all of the Planet of the Apes movies at some point. And so might
Have you
as well
not
use
seen
this as
any of
an
the
excuse.
new ones?
I've only seen the first one.
Oh,
the new.
Yeah.
the worst of them.
Yeah, honestly. Because the other 2 are Matt
I mean,
Reeves.
I thought it was fine.
And they
It's
are very
still
Yeah, no,
good,
it is
Yeah.
good.
but
I
it's
it.
like
yeah.
when Dawn happens, it's like, oh, that's what these are going to be. Okay, great.
It's really shocking how good the other 2 are, actually.
Yeah.
Because they have no right to be good at all. It's just
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes prequel. Like, who cares?
So freaking sick.
But yeah, this one is like fully just a Planet of the Apes movie again. Not technically a remake, but it's like, yeah, the humans are the monkeys again, and the monkeys are fully in charge. So it'll be cool to watch. I genuinely
Cool.
am excited for that one. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
great pick.
Thanks, guys.
My next one is one that I don't even know if you guys have heard of. It is called Megalopolis. It is Francis Ford Coppola's next film. And
Bro,
he's
you're
not.
making this boring.
Yeah, snooze
No,
list.
let me at least explain why.
Boo.
Okay, sorry.
Boo.
Megalopolis is my movie.
Boo.
Jared, go ahead.
No, explain it. Well, if you don't explain it, then it's super
then it's
boring.
even
Yeah,
more. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So that is the
wish
movie
she
that
didn't
Francis
suck
Ford
so
Coppola
bad.
self-funded. So he had to find a distributor, obviously, but he put 150 million of his own money into making this into this movie, which for some people is a lot, but when you own Coppola wine, probably barely even affected his bottom line at all. Anyway, it's this movie that he
didn't
has
know
been
that was
working
a
on
thing.
for 20 years, basically, maybe even longer. He's wanted to make it for a very long time, and then he just finally did. And there's not an official release date yet, but he says it's going to come out this year. And so
Bro,
this
that's
is
what
just
people
something he's
always
very
say
passionate
when they're
about.
making a movie that's That's what they say when they're making a movie that's bad and boring and they need to find a way to get people to go to it. They're like, I've been making this for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, like Star Wars.
This is my passion project.
Exactly.
Was
like Star
George Lucas making Star Wars for 20 years?
The prequels.
Oh, right.
Right.
So no.
Awesome. Well, with that snooze of an answer.
No, it'll be
That
great.
sucks.
Deadpool
Dude, this
3.
episode sucks.
Yay.
Oh, I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to.
Yeah, I didn't want to say
no,
that.
But I wanted it
But
on the
we all
list.
want it.
Yeah,
on
we
the
all want it.
list.
Yeah.
So I'll let Lucas keep saying his wacko ones.
This dumb,
And,
ridiculous Megalopolis.
that might
Some movie
come
that
out.
4 people are going to see because it's going to show in one theater that you have to pay $1,000 to get into.
No, if it costs that much, they're gonna have a wide release. Come on, it'll have
Okay.
a wide release. Come on, it'll have a wide release, guys.
Yeah, but
I'm
Deadpool 3,
gonna-
we're hopefully optimistic.
yes,
Yeah,
we
ain't
are.
we? We kind of covered it, but yeah.
No, we
freaking
are.
Yeah.
We're excited.
Your boy is putting A Quiet Place Day 1 on the list.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Just because I'm willing to be surprised once again.
Mm-hmm.
When A Quiet Place came out, I was like, right on. Perfect ending. Don't make any more. And then they announced part 2, and I was like, do not make this movie. And then I saw it, and I was like, right on. Perfect ending. Do not make any more.
Yeah.
And then they announced Day 1, and I'm like, no, don't make another one.
Day 1 and part 3.
However, yeah.
both in
However,
development.
I'm hopeful for this one for 2 key reasons. It's in the Quiet Place universe, which means they're taking good care of it. And second of all, Lupita Nyong'o, who I love, is in it.
Yeah.
And therefore, I am just pumped because
Yep.
she can make a bad thing good, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So even
Yeah, I
if the
think
script
Even
sucks,
Black Panther
she'll
too.
be amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite part of part 2 was the whole like meteor and seeing that
The intro
initial
scene.
shock.
Yup.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like
Yeah.
obviously the rest of the movie is good too, but
Right.
if we can just get more of that, I'm way on board.
Totally.
And then
Yeah.
following different
Totally.
characters and like it'll be fun.
Yeah, that beginning
I'm
scene of
amped about
part
it.
2 is so cool. There's
Well,
just,
and also just playing off of the hype that people have because of that beginning scene, but then also episode 1 of The Last of Us, which gave us a very similar feeling.
yep.
Like,
That was
I
also
think,
so sick.
I think there's a lot of interest right now in like the beginning of an apocalypse, basically. And so I think that people are going to be interested in seeing it. I think it's going to perform really well.
I agree.
And I think that it'll be good also.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that actually as well.
All right, Lucas, what you got now?
My next on the list.
The Piano Lesson, which is a movie that's coming out. I just saw it. I can't imagine it'll be
Couldn't
good.
care less about that movie. Just kidding. I have no clue what it is. The next on my list is The Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim, which unfortunately also comes out in December. But if you haven't heard about this, it is an anime of Lord of the Rings. It is a prequel,
Tight.
and it is about Helm Hammerhand or Helm Hammerhead.
Helm
Helm
Hammerhand.
Helm Hammerhand.
Ham Helmer.
Hammerhand, who Helm's Deep is named after. And so it's
Yeah.
kind of about that whole story and the kind of origins of the
Ham
Rohirrim
Helmerhand.
and all that stuff in Rohan.
Yeah, I just got through the Battle of Helm's Deep and everything in the Two Towers audiobook.
Nice.
And there's so much lore that like they don't touch on at all.
Nope.
Which of
Yeah.
course there is.
Yeah,
It's Tolkien, you know
it's
what I mean?
impossible to not.
But yeah, like it's sick.
Yeah, I'm really
Like, and
looking
I'm-
forward
I'd
to that
be
because Peter Jackson and
super
Fran
excited.
Walsh and Philippa Boyens, who obviously all worked on Lord of the Rings, are all involved in the animated movie, like heavily involved in producing it and writing it. And so it's like, I hope it's just like a cool idea they had for another tale in this world that they're just like, yeah, let's make an anime of it and not have any like, huge pressure on it to be like a $1 billion franchise like the Rings of Power kind of has.
Which I kind of wish Rings of Power was animated.
Yeah, that would be cool. Honestly, that could be really
you know,
cool.
maybe a little bit You don't have to pay as much.
Yeah.
And
But
you
the
can
thing is, their whole marketing campaign for it was this was so expensive to make.
Yeah.
this is
So that
the
means
most
it's good,
expensive show to make.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that's all they had to advertise it.
I
So,
do like that show more than most people. It's nowhere
I
near
liked
the
Rings
quality.
of Power too. People dunk on
Yeah.
it, and I was like, I had a fine time with it. It's
My-
not my favorite show
No, yeah.
ever, but it's
Same. It
It's
was a lot
fine.
of fun. I watched it with friends, and we all really enjoyed it. And I think that might be part of why I enjoyed it, because it was just fun to watch it
Yeah.
with a group of people. But I just don't know the lore enough to be mad about it. Like, I've read the main
Sure.
3 books, but I've never tried. I've tried to get into the Silmarillion, and it is a very tough read because it's just
literally reading an encyclopedia.
yeah, exactly. And so it's like maybe I'll listen to that audiobook eventually, but I'm not some like diehard Tolkien purist. I love Tolkien's work, and obviously the Lord of the Rings movies are my favorites. But I was just like, cool, yeah, this is a fun show. Like, this is really interesting, and it is just technically in this world, even though it doesn't really connect to anything. Galadriel, I guess, is in it, but it's yeah, I had fun with it. But yeah, there are some people who absolutely.
Do you know what
bashed on it.
Do you know what the JRR stand for?
John Ronald Rule?
Nope. Jolkin, Rolkin, Rolkin, Tolkien.
Oh, dang it.
That's
You got
true.
me. Rolkin. Tolkien. That is
Well, that's
great.
That's a good answer. That's a great answer. My next answer is Horizon, and I'm going to say part 1 and 2.
Oh, the one shot in Utah.
This is a good old Western on the big screen. Yeah. What's homie's name?
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner made a 2-parter or a 3-parter.
It will be
right?
4 parts, but only the first
He
2
made a
are shot
4-parter.
because he ran out of money and needs
Well-
these movies to make money to keep making them.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm kind of fine with that.
Yeah, no, totally.
Let's just see how the
Yeah, let's
first
see how the first 2 are. Yeah,
Yellowstone presents
yeah exactly.
Yeah.
Horizon, a Yellowstone story.
It is not Yellowstone, but he left Yellowstone to make these movies.
Yeah.
But like it is.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So I'm interested. I'm excited to see a 2-parter that actually comes out like a month after each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
that's
it's
way
basically slated to. Here's part 1. Everyone go watch it, and then go watch part 2 right after. Thank you for that, first of all, Kev. We do appreciate
We
it.
do.
But also, friend of podcast Shaylee Barney, who's been on the show a couple times, is going to be prostituting. So
Yay.
Yeah.
she's a lady of the night, and we're excited for that.
If if you guys don't know, this movie was shot entirely in Utah, both of them, and he wants to shoot the other 2 here as well. So if you know anyone who lives in
My
St.
man.
George, they have a very high likelihood of maybe being an extra because they were desperate for extras. And so, yeah, I know a lot of people who worked on it and who are in it. One of my professors from school is in it in like a pretty significant role, which I
Nice.
am really excited about because like he's an older
way
guy
cool.
who's just kind of been teaching for a while, and you know he landed a part in a Kevin Costner movie, which is awesome. And
dope.
so I'm excited to see him. There are a couple other people who I've worked with on other sets who have worked on this or who are in it as well. So it'll be fun. Like it'll be a really fun watch to like see, and it's shot entirely in Utah, so a lot of it will like a lot of the landscapes will be recognizable. And yeah, he wanted to shoot here because they shot a lot of Yellowstone season 1 and 2 pretty much entirely in Utah, and he loved it so much that he was like, I want to make my movies here. That similarly to like Francis Ford Coppola, he's been working on Horizon for a very long time, and so this is like his passion project.
Yeah. So hope it's good.
Yeah, me too.
And also,
It better be.
I'm just excited to see a Western.
Yep.
Yeah.
In 2024.
Yeah.
Love
No, that'd be
a good
cool.
Western.
Very cool.
Okay, I'm gonna give a boring Lucas answer. But actually, I do think that this movie is gonna rock from what little I know about it, and that is The Bike Riders,
Oh,
starring
nice.
Austin Butler. They are kind of trying to market it. This is a quote. I'm not sure who said it, but something like the Godfather of biker movies, which is
that
awesome.
kind of sounds
I think
sick,
that
actually.
I
The
think that
Godfather
biker
of
gangs-
biker movies.
biker gangs are
The
super
Wild
interesting
Hogs
to
was
me.
the
and
Godfather of biker movies.
yeah, bro, Wild Hogs. That movie rules.
Maybe that's
But-
the 2001. Like
Yeah.
it blazed the trail for more movies to
Yeah.
come.
But yeah, with stuff like Sons of Anarchy, I think that people are interested in, biker gangs and stuff. And I don't know. I just think it's going to be really cool. Austin Butler is a hot topic right now from Elvis and Dune Part 2. Got to start on Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, believe it or not.
I believe it.
And I
believe
learned
it.
that from listening to that dumb podcast that they do. And now I think between him being a good actor and also bringing a lot of people to theaters and also just the whole aesthetic of the movie looking really cool, I just really want it to be good.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those fun, just kind of non-IP related movies that could end up being kind of, a classic. So
Yeah.
that's my one.
That was one
Love.
that Disney tried to write off and just get rid of. They were like, we don't want this anymore. We bought it, but we are getting rid of it. And so Focus Features came in and swooped it up. Because it was supposed to come in December. And
Isn't that what happened to Ferrari too?
maybe.
Was that, or were you just telling me that about
I was,
bike
no, I was
riders?
telling you that about Bike Riders. Yeah, because we watched it at Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Yeah,
Got it.
exactly.
Okay.
So I think that comes out in like summer or something. But I think that could be great. Jeff Nichols is the guy who directed that. A lot of people really love him. I don't think I've seen any of his movies, but I'm
Jack
very
Nicholson's brother.
curious. All right, final entry.
Or I guess maybe
Nichols'
dad?
son.
Is it-
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson is the son of Jeff Nichols.
Yes, exactly.
So Jeff Nichols is like 4,000 years
Yeah,
old.
he's about 4,000 years old. So
Jack Nicholson, man. There's a prediction. I think he's going to die in 2024.
that's a bad prediction.
That's
He's
a
gonna live
tough
forever.
prediction, man. Lucas,
All right,
what you got?
my final movie.
Is this final?
Well, because we each get 5, right? So this is my 5th.
Have I said 5?
You've said
Have I
4.
said 5 as well?
You've said 4. You both have said 4. I've said 4. This is my 5th.
Oh,
that
did
I'm
you
about to
start?
say. I
see.
started.
You started!
Yay.
Yep.
On the Zoom call,
I-
you're on
well,
the
'cause I
bottom,
started
so I just
'cause I
kind of
was
got
like-
used to Jared
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
me second, and then you.
No, I started first because I just got Dune out of the way, so you guys could choose other stuff.
And then the rest are kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you
For
said
other people,
something
they're
about
ungettable, but I'm sure
Met-
I'll love them. So
Metropolis or whatever.
Fifth one is The Wilderness, a movie that you have not heard of, but it is the movie that I
Dude, this episode sucks.
just let me explain why.
I don't even know why we're still talking. There's no way anyone has gotten this far
That's
with
not
all
true.
of Lucas's answers.
That's not true. People are interested in Megalopolis. People who listen to a movie
In
podcast
what?
would be interested in seeing Francis Ford Coppola's new movie, the director of
Who?
The Godfather. Ian,
Cares.
Britton, Jacob, Henry,
I already
go.
cares you. Stop answering the question.
Jeremiah.
Talk about the wilderness. Whatever dumb.
Clumpy.
You're pissing me off,
Okay,
Lucas. You're
The
out.
Wilderness.
Of this. You're out of the podcast. You're out. We voted. What's the wilderness? Spit it out.
The Wilderness is the movie that I worked on over the summer in Boulder, Utah.
Yay!
Oh!
That is exciting.
Okay.
Okay,
this
that's a
year,
good
somewhere.
answer.
So, yeah, that's.
I hope it's good, man.
that's it. That's.
Wait, what is it? Oh, are you not allowed,
I'm not
to,
allowed
say
to say
anything
anything
about
else. Just that it's called
That's
The
about
Wilderness and it will premiere at a film festival this year, probably, almost certainly. So I'm excited to see it. I'm really excited to see it because
it? That is cool. I'm sorry for being
we're working
so
on it, and
aggressive about that.
the director is super awesome, and he and I have kept in touch a lot, and he's awesome. Yeah, so I'm very excited to see
That's
it.
great.
Sick. My final
You kept
answer.
in touch with the director?
Yeah, he's 26. He's our age. Like he's so young. He's super
Get
homey.
us in there. Tell him that you know a couple actor friends.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Oh, cool, I do too. Their names are." I'm not
And
gonna
then
say.
big name.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big name drop, NDA version of a name
yeah,
drop.
yeah, exactly.
Well, my next answer, my final answer. There's a director I really like who has made some really great movies and some real stinkers. Some that I even own physical copies of,
Ooh.
like Kick-Ass
Nice.
and The Kingsman: Secret Service.
Nice.
And he's
I
taken
was-
on a new project
I was
called
wondering if this would make it.
Argyle.
Nice.
Yup.
It's an espionage, spy, fun adventure time, which he's done before, and he's done well. He's also done before and has done horribly. But my hope is with a new property, new energy, he knocks it out of the park, and it's just a fun time.
Yep.
Which the cast is great.
So good.
I'm excited for it.
I was
So-
forced to watch this trailer in a theater, and I just said, fine, I will watch it. And it looks awesome. I am really excited.
Yeah.
I was excited because of Matthew Vaughn, and I'm excited now because the trailer actually looks really cool. So that's on my top 10 list for sure. And it comes out in like 2 weeks. It's like not a long wait for that one, which is awesome.
Yeah. So that's going to kick off our watch list probably.
The one thing that I am hesitant about is how central the animated cat has been to the marketing.
Yeah, that I think is
Yeah.
just a ploy. Like, that's
Kind
just
of
a
hope that's
marketing.
just like a small gimmick and is not
Yeah.
like a crux of the movie.
I
Because
also agree with that.
I know looking at it that's going to be my least favorite part of the movie. So if it's prominent, I'm
Totally.
going to like, okay, let's get past this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, again, we're not predicting these will
I
be great.
I hope that it's
I'm
awesome.
hoping
because
that all the ones
everything
we've put on
else
this
about
list will
that
be
movie,
good,
freaking Sam Rockwell, like it's got him in it, so I have to love it.
And Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
All right,
Dua
round
Lipa.
us out home.
I'm gonna round us off with one that might suck, but I really hope is good, and I actually think that it will be good. And that is Borderlands,
Oh,
the
nice.
adaptation
Fun.
of the video game. It has all a fun cast except for Kevin Hart, who I despise, but I hope that he
I like
doesn't
Kevin Hart.
ruin this movie.
It's fun.
He's gonna be what's the clank trap? Clap
No,
trap?
Jack
Jack
Black,
Black
is
is
Claptrap.
Claptrap.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
which
great.
is fun.
Okay.
Which is perfect.
We love
and
that.
then Kate Blanchett and Jamie Lee Curtis are also in it. So
Wow.
it's kind of just
Yeah,
like
it's kind of cool.
to me it feels like it's going to be kind of a Borderlands version in terms of tone and theme. Borderlands version of like the new Jumanji movies, kind of, where it's just like,
Yeah.
cool, fun, small team cast going and doing crazy stuff. And
Is it live action?
live action.
It is, yeah.
Which that's the one thing that I'm a little bit bummed about, because the Borderlands art is so
so
beautiful
good.
that it's kind of like you have to make this movie look incredible in order for it to be good. And so I can put this on the list right now because we don't have any photos
Yeah, no,
or
there's
trailer
no
or anything.
Yeah.
Once there are, it'll be
soon as we get
much
that.
easier to tell if this movie is going to be good or if it's going to suck.
As soon as we get that live action Sonic trailer,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
bro. And then we can all
Sonic.
just bully them into making it look better.
Hey, but it worked. And
That's
as a
so
result,
funny.
Sonic is a successful movie franchise. So it's like
Yeah,
It
we're
would
getting
not
a
have been
third
otherwise.
one
a third
with
one this
Shadow
year.
in it.
Yep. And the Knuckles
Yeah.
show also comes out this year.
There's a show?
For Knuckles, yeah.
Dude,
Sick.
great.
I won't watch
Anyway, yeah,
What?
Borderlands. Borderlands on the list.
that. Love it. That's a good list. That's a good
Thanks.
list of 15 movies.
Yeah, that is a good list.
Yeah.
And a lot
Lucas,
of background
list them
about
all
of those
off
movies.
in the order that we listed them.
No.
He forgot all of
I
his.
remember all I remember them very well, thank you. I'm not gonna list them though.
We should go back
Matter
and
of
listen to this,
principle.
list them all out, and then put it up like on the Insta post so people can see
agree.
the list.
I agree.
as well.
Just remember Dune and remember
I remember all mine.
the Vivitch.
Metropolis.
Four.
Yeah, Metropolis, The Wilderness, Megalopolis,
Yeah, some
Nosferatu,
dumb movie called
War
The
for the
Wilderness that
Rohirrim.
no one wants to know about.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Niall, do you have a question?
I don't.
All right. Well,
Well, your question was supposed to be, what's your best picture winner predictor?
yeah.
Oh,
And
we're talking about Dune.
yeah, and you
Well,
talked
I've
about
already
you winning
predicted,
already.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's all-
that
that's
was
all
what I was
back
going to
that
predict
horse.
as well. But let
Let's back
me
that horse.
back up why.
I think the Bike Riders is going to be in contention.
I agree that is totally. This will be a great year for movies like that to get nominated. That might
Bob
get
Marley
overlooked.
One Love.
Like if Blackberry had come out this year instead of last year, I think it would be
Yeah.
would have done a lot better at the awards ceremony.
If it had come out later in the year, also.
Yeah, also true. I just don't think they were predicting it to be the awards contender that it has been. But
Yeah.
the thing with Dune coming out in 2024, as much as it sucks to wait an extra 4 months, 2023 was such a stacked year. Dune would not have really had much of a chance with any of the
Yeah,
awards.
it going up against
Oppenheimer. It's like Oppenheimer's going to
yeah.
win.
Killers.
Like, and I don't think. I mean, as much as I'm excited for Dune 2, I highly doubt that was going to win over Oppenheimer. But
Totally.
now that it's coming out this year, and it seems like there's very little big competition, I think Dune 2 actually does have a very good chance of winning. Nominated if it's
Joker Folie à Deux.
Man, I mean, Joker 1 was nominated, so maybe it'll repeat. I pray that that is not the case, but we'll see, I guess.
What if it's really good, y'all?
What if?
What if?
We'll find out.
Speaking of what if, Rachel Zegler, the actress who plays Maria in West Side Story and the Songbird
Songbird.
Snake one,
Snake Girl.
just found her Twitter, and it's so good.
Yeah.
She's just a normal person that just she kind of tweets a lot just about like pop culture stuff. And
She
there was a post about the potential of the Star Wars What If series. There's been rumors that they would do a Star Wars What If on Disney Plus. And she quote tweeted it and just said, "What if somehow Palpatine returned?"
That's really
That is
good.
hilarious.
I thought it was so funny.
J.J.
Well,
Abrams
can I-
crying himself to sleep, sobbing.
As we're kind of wrapping this conversation up a little bit of our predictions and everything and things that we're excited about for 2024, I did want to say one other thing, which there's no other way for me to say that I'm excited about it. I mean, this is the episode to say. But the new edition of Dungeons and Dragons is coming out this
that
year.
does.
It's happening.
I forgot about that.
They're calling it 1D&D, which...
Bob Marley won D&D.
Yeah, they're calling it Bob Marley 1D&D. So basically, this game, Dungeons and Dragons, has been around since the 70s. And basically, it started out as a PDF. Think about it that way, right? Back in the day. And you could, pass it around to your friends. Game stores would have it. And it was so loose and unstructured. And then slowly they're like, hey, people like this. Let's put it into an edition. Like, let's make it like a advanced D&D. It's a set. It's a book you can get.
Is that 5th edition you're saying? Or
So
very
that
first
was
D&D,
back.
or
That's like the
OG?
first edition.
Okay.
Edition
And then-
1.1.
Yeah. And as the game grew and it got more exciting and more popular, they started ironing out some of the rules. They realized, hey, people want a little bit more structure, and they recreated the edition. And then they created 2nd edition, and then they created 3rd edition, and then like 3.5.
5.
And then they went to 4, and 4 was a flop, and then they created 5th edition. And that was the year I started playing D&D. Is the box set that was like, hey, here's like this the new edition. You can buy this box. This is a good time to start, I guess. That's right when we started. And that was like 2014.
Dang.
So 10 years of this edition. They finally now, again, have ironed out some of the kinks of D&D. Hopefully are making it more accessible for new players, all the stuff. And they're saying this is the new edition. But instead of calling it like 6th edition, like the 3.5, this would be more of a 5.5 edition.
Oh, interesting.
It's really just more minor rule changes, balancing some things, creating new resources for game masters and players and stuff. And I'm very excited about
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
So
And they're calling it D&D 1 because 1D&D because now we're in an era where mass standardization via like digital books and stuff is a lot easier. So they basically said if we want to send out updates, we can. We don't have to wait to collect
Until a new
enough of them
edition.
to make a new edition.
Yeah.
We can just kind of be adapting it. So I remember at least something that someone said earlier on was the goal is to take 1D&D and that just kind of have that be the D&D edition from now on and have that evolving. So it's not, editions going up to 25 or whatever, Who knows if that's actually how it'll end up playing out. They'll probably go through some branding changes, but I think it's the beginning of a new era of kind of like this is the way that D&D is, and like this is the version that everybody plays, you know, and kind of like a unified version of it. So pretty cool. I haven't kept up with all the updates, but it seems like the stuff that they're doing is steps in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree with how popular the game has become. You know, there's so many more people now playing it, and what they've basically done is like all good game designers do. They reach out to their audience and say, hey, what do you like about this game? What do you not like about this game? Where can we improve? And they've released updates every step of the way, all throughout this last year and even into 22 when they started it. But they've been doing updates and like crowd surveys and released play tests little by little for people to give feedback. And all the changes they're making, I think, are really good.
Cool.
I think they're great if they're like, if they rework a whole class like they did with Warlock and made them more of a spellcaster and not just like they have their 2 spells that they can use.
Yep.
Not to get into the nitty gritty, but basically they remade Warlock, sent it out, and they're like, "Hey, check this out. What do you think?" And everyone was like, "That is terrible." And they're like, "Cool, we're not going to do that.
Nice.
And let's try this instead." And then they tweaked it again, and it's just been such a collaborative addition, which is sick. They did a very similar thing, not Wizards of the Coast, but the people who made Twilight Imperium. 3rd edition was amazing, apparently, but a lot of people had some like issues with it, and there's a whole documentary on how they changed from 3rd edition to 4th edition.
That's cool.
And that's the version that we play.
Nice. So, that's very cool.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had
throw that in
I hadn't
on the
heard
end
about that, but I didn't realize that was coming out this year.
Yeah.
Is there like a release date
2024.
on that?
I don't think so. But I think most of the books are finalized.
Oh, nice.
As far as what they've been saying. They're just making tweaks, and they're like, yeah, we can change stuff up until we print.
Cool.
So we're going to
keep doing it, yeah.
Working and play testing and gathering data and stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, D&D has become
We'll
so
see.
big that, like, that's awesome that they're, like, really valuing the players and people involved in it. So, that's great.
And we can talk about some of the specifics in post-credits or
post-credits
one-on-one, but...
I'm glad someone brought up a game because I don't really know many video games that are coming out this year. Not that D&D is a video game, but just
I think the Hollow Knight sequel is coming out this year.
Oh, cool!
Whoa, huge if
That'll
true.
be fun.
Which, if that comes out, that will fully engulf my life until I'm done with it because I just love the first Hollow Knight so much.
Nice.
And this one you'll be playing as Hornet. One of the NPCs you interact with in the first Hollow Knight.
Cool.
Because your character's story is done by the end of Hollow Knight. So, very excited to see about that. That's the only game that I'm aware of, though.
Nice.
So,
cool. Yeah, I don't know. But
know.
that's another thing is like
this
this year will be a great opportunity for me to catch up on some of those games that I have purchased on Steam but not actually played. One of them being Elden Ring. I bought for half off, and so I'm going to play that this year.
Dude. We got to play some Elden Ring. I think there's crossplay in that too, so
there is,
I can drop into your.
me
You can summon
slay
me, and I can
Malenia.
help you with dungeons and stuff.
Yep.
I have
fun.
not even gotten there. I'm so far behind in that game.
Yeah,
It's so easy to get distracted, dude.
there's not like a ton of shows that are coming out, but I will just shout out the two.
Severem.
Yeah, Severance and the Bear.
Bear season 3.
Bear season 3, and then House of the Dragon season 2 as well. Also comes out this year.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that'll be awesome.
Arcane season 2.
Arcane season 2, The Boys season 4. There's a lot more TV than movies that
Yeesh.
are coming out that will be cool. The Penguin also from Matt Reeves' The Batman verse. I am looking forward to because he's heavily involved in it, and we've only got one movie from it, and it was great. So I'm looking forward to the show. Like I think that could be
Game
awesome.
Changer season 6.
All right, well that was a great episode, guys.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. You know who also I hope thought it was a good episode? my mom, Kel.
Kel, shout out to Kel.
Oh,
I think we
your
should give a shout out to
mom.
Kel real quick. And I've got a shout out to Kel from the following people: Nick Bell, Michael Polonsik, Easy Law, Britton Ingley, Riley Allen, Ian James Martin, and Hannah Steed. Those people are shouting out my mom via the Patreon platform. They are supporting us on Patreon for $3 a month. And what they get out of that is
Love.
a chance to shout out my mother and sustain her for one more week of life. They also get to see extra episodes where we do post-credits episodes on Patreon. We make funny stuff. We make goofy stuff. Sometimes we do anime voices on there. This time
Yeah,
we're probably
really
going to
sell
talk
it.
about some D&D stuff. We play some games. We work on our voice acting abilities.
Which
So,
are very high.
it's a lot of fun. We're also running some giveaways. We might try soon to do a Patreon exclusive giveaway. Giveaways that only go to people that are supporting us on Patreon. So if you want to be part of those, you better get in there. So patreon.com/mancavemovie night is where you can support us so that we can take that money and just turn it into cool stuff to give you guys. Because we're not trying to profit off of this in any way. And even if we were, it would not be much. So it's better for us to take that money and just turn it into cool stuff that we can give you guys. We want to run
Totally.
more giveaways. We want to do more stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for listening. Rate us well. Follow us into the night. And we will see you on another Man Cave Movie Night Monday.
Bye, Zinga.
Bye.